Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a brand new series here on F1 22. And we've got a My Team career mode. I know a couple people have asked me about this, and I have tried in the past to get a My Team going, but never felt quite right in the car, so I decided we'd do something different. Instead of starting at the bottom, slogging for a couple of seasons with a crappy car, we'll bring a bit of a storyline here. You may have seen at the beginning, Audi Sport are in Formula 1 from 2021 when the new regulation should have kicked in. So they joined with a solid midfield entry, finished P4 ahead of McLaren, just behind Ferrari, and are ready, apparently, to challenge for a title this year. We'll see if it's possible. Two brand new drivers on the grid as of 2021. Anthony McKinnon, a Canadian Formula 1 driver, joins the team. And Oscar Piastri for 2022, brand new rookie out of Formula 2, starts his journey. So let's take a look at the calendar, shall we? Starting the season in Miami. We're going to switch things up. We're starting in the Americas. We're going Miami, then off to Canada, over to Mexico, then the first of 2 sprint rounds in Brazil. Then we head off to Europe, to Portugal, Great Britain, Belgium, the Netherlands, Austria for the second sprint round, then to Monza in Italy, Azerbaijan, then we head over to the Middle East, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, then off to Australia, and then to Singapore, and we round out this season in Japan. It's a little bit of a different calendar, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So with all of that said, and the scene set, let's head to qualifying. Alright, here we go. On the track then, for the first time in anger, aside from, pre-season testing and practice, we haven't really had a chance to see what this car can do as we come out the final corner. Bit of a wobble. This is our first run in qualifying as we head over the line, and it is P1 for now, but I don't think it's going to stay that way if we're being honest. Down all the way into P13 at this point, so that hint of a title fight is going to need some work if we're going to be able to do that. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt though. Maybe it's just getting used to the car, but yeah, it's not great as we head into turn 1, completely missing the apex. We did make up a bit of time and then threw it all away just by not taking the corner well as we come down towards the final very, very tight hairpin there. It's really awkward, especially to get on the power afterwards. We're not even going to improve, so heading into Q2 in P13 does not bode well. At least we're through though. It could have been worse. We could not have got through, so yeah, a bit of work to do. Oscar Piastri though, showing that the car definitely has some pace, just 0.6 off the front runners in the Red Bull. There's no surprise there. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz up in 3rd and Lewis Hamilton in 4th for Q1. But what really matters really is us heading into Q2 and getting through into the shootout, losing Tsunoda, Bottas, Vettel, Albon, Stroll and Latifi from this session. Very nearly us. We weren't that far away. So heading into Q2, we've got to find some time in this car, so hopefully we can, as we don't even seem to be bothered about hitting apexes at the moment. That's not going to help our cause as we round the final corner. Currently in P10, but I think that's just because we're the 10th car out on track. Coming up towards the line, what's it going to be? P2. We'll take that. Second car out on track, apparently. So P13 again as we head out for our second run in qualifying. Down in P15 now as everybody starts to improve. We are improving slightly, or were improving. We are improving. 4/10 currently. Is that going to be enough though? I don't know. We'll find out as we head through the final sector, up through that Mickey Mouse section. Very, very awkward on this track and in this game. 6/10 the gain now, 7/10. Could be on for a Q3 entry if we can hold it all together, coming down into the final corner, into that silly hairpin, all the way down into first gear. Might have been a bit excessive. 9/10 gain as we come up towards the line. Is it going to be enough to get us to Q3? Potentially. P9 for now. But it wasn't enough. And we're out of qualifying. That's it. Qualifying's done. P13 seems to be a bit of a theme throughout this qualifying session. Oscar Piastri, though, up in P7.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, George Russell and Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Ricciardo, Ocon and Kevin Magnussen, Norris, Fernando Alonso, McKinnon and Gasly, Joe, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda and Valtteri Bottas, Vettel, Albon, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice starts. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want you to bog down.
This is it then. P13 for our first race in this My Team career mode in the Audi Sport car. Oscar Piastri all the way up in P7, so he's done a much better job of qualifying. We nearly put it in the wall before we've even started there. That's not a good start really, is it? But the car has pace, so if we can find it in race trim, we could be in a position to make up some spots here.
Okay, incredible parking there. Nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get good launch as the race starts.
Here we go then for round 1 of this My Team career mode. We wait for the 5 red lights to illuminate. It's lights out and we are underway. Good start for the Red Bull at the front. I'd like to see what's going on there, but here with us, good start for us too. We're going to go around the outside here of Norris, potentially looking to make up places early on. Here's the front runners though, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc fighting straight into turn 1, turn 2. Max Verstappen's going to come out ahead of that one. George Russell here in the Mercedes. What's he up to? Going down the inside of Norris. Thinking better of that one because that could have ended in disaster. That could have been the end of the race. Daniel Ricciardo here on our teammate looking to try get up into P7. That didn't quite work. And now Esteban Ocon in that Alpine fighting with Kevin Magnussen in the Haas in the midfield. Fernando Alonso though is also there, and I reckon we are not far behind. Deploying a bit of battery, we could be on for a potential move here as we head down towards sector to the end of sector 2. Get my words out. Down the inside we go on Alonso and up into P11. That's 2 places gained in the first lap. That's promising. We've got 29 laps here, so we could be on to make up some good positions if we can keep this up. Hopefully the front runners don't run away too much and we can get through the traffic as much as we can. Aiming probably for P7, P6, I would imagine realistically, but who knows what can happen over the course of a Grand Prix. There could be some very good opportunities coming down the back straight. Looks like we're not going to be able to make any moves. We accidentally go for a move down the inside on Magnussen there, making a bit of contact. Thankfully no damage. Wow. And he just cuts across us like we aren't even there. That's probably a bit of revenge, but we're going to deploy the battery, move to the inside for turn 1 and get ourselves up into the points. We take those. That was a very good first lap. And next up on the agenda, the next Alpine of Esteban Ocon, and on to lap 4. You can see we have caught very quickly. The clouds up there in the sky though are a little concerning, looking like we might get some rain at some point. Hopefully not. But are we going to be able to make a move down here? We're going to get DRS being on lap 4 now. I think we're poised to make the move, maybe even before we get to the corner here, deploying a lot of battery, move to the outside. Who's going to be the last on the brakes? Daniel Ricciardo is in front of us. We need to be mindful of that. And Esteban Ocon, speaking of Daniel Ricciardo, nearly takes him out. So that was a close one. But we are up into P9 in this race. And now we get to go chasing after Ricciardo. And then we would have caught our teammates. So things are looking much better in the race than they were during qualifying, which is, I'm very happy to say that, because I was a little bit worried coming into this that we might be in out of our depth, but it seems like we've got things under control. Piastri's going for a move there. I don't know if you can see that on Carlos Sainz. It looks like he's got through. Will he hold on to it as they go into the braking zone? It looks like he will, as we almost plough into the back of Daniel Ricciardo, but thankfully not. A little bit distracted by the battle going on ahead of us. Piastri, though, as we head later into lap 5, is holding on to that position, so that's promising. Although it's worth noting that the Ferrari is on the hard tyres, so the mediums will definitely still be quicker at this stage. We're going to go round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo, squeezing us slightly into the wall. Who's going to break the latest on this occasion? It will be us, and we're going to go around the outside, but Ricciardo's still there. But we're going to take the position up into P8 now. We're making moves, and you can see on the mini-map that the front runners have not run away with this, so it's not like we've got a huge gulf to catch up to those if we've got the pace. Max Verstappen, I believe, is out in front. He's got a decent margin, but it's not too bad. And on to lap 6, our mediums versus Carlos Hards are not going to be too much of a match, I don't think. We are having to deploy a lot of battery to get this move done. Round the outside again, potentially. It looks like it. Yep, we're going to scare him out of the way a little bit. No, maybe not. He's going to hold it, and he keeps his position for now. But onto the back straight might be a very good opportunity for us. We'll see. We've got decent straight line speed in this car, actually. It's been a point of contention for me in these career modes, but it seems like this car is A-OK. Look at this. We are gaining on the Ferrari. Are we going to gain enough to be able to go down the inside into the final corner? Having a little look to the inside and thinking that's a little bit too far, but he's locked up, so we're going to send it, but apparently we don't exist, and he's going to turn back into us and keep the position. So nothing doing at the moment, but onwards to lap 7, and we're still with him, and we're looking to make the move. Oscar Piastri is running away just a little bit. Not too worried about that, because I reckon we'll do it. We're going to send one down the inside by the looks of it as we move to the inside line, get nice and late on the brakes, and we are up into P7 now, where our teammate started this race. He's now in P6, and we're going to be looking to take him next, I reckon. I don't know if he'll make it too hard. We'll see. There's nothing in terms of a championship fight at this stage, so there's really no reason he'd get out of the way. But first, we've got to get inside his DRS. We have actually done it. I was surprised about that, because we were outside a second, but apparently as we crossed over the line, we were inside it, and we set the fastest lap, so that's good. Bit of clean air, and we've got pace. That's very, very promising as we head on to lap 8. The glare from the sun is more and more concerning. Apparently we are headed towards the end of our tyre life on lap 9. I'm not sure I agree with that, but it's time to assert dominance over Oscar Piastri as we go down the inside. Gives us a little squeeze towards the wall. Are we going to make it stick? Yes, we are. We're going to pull back over to the racing line, and that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. So up into 6th place we go. The 2 Mercedes cars up next, and Ferrari of Charles Leclerc and the 2 Red Bulls is all that lays between us and a potential win. And with this pace, it could happen. It could happen. But remember, the Red Bulls are very quick and the Mercedes aren't far behind. So currently, in theory, we should have the second best car. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. On to lap 12, and Hamilton is for the taking. So we seem to be making all of our moves down this back straight here with the DRS, little bit of battery, and round the outside seems to be the order of the day. He's just about got that stopped to not end up hitting his teammate. That would have been awkward. And up into 5th. This has been an incredible drive so far, even if I do say so myself. And wow, we're not even halfway through yet, so Looking very promising, I will say that much. Bit of a wobble though on the exit, and that might just invite Hamilton to come back. And with DRS and a bit of battery, he might take this place back now. We haven't got loads of battery to use. Here he comes down the inside. Can we keep it alongside? No, we can't. And we think about going down the inside, but we just weren't quite close enough to make that work. So we're going to have to settle back into P6 for now and choose a slightly better time to make that move. Maybe not, as we're about to head onto a very long straight with DRS. Anyway, we're pitting lap 13 onto a set of hard tyres, I would imagine. And you've got the 2 Ferrari cars, I think both on hard tyres. So they're going to go a little bit longer. But hopefully the medium to hard is quicker than the other way around. But we shall see as we come out the pit lane. Looks like we haven't lost too much time, if any, to Hamilton. But the AI, man, the way they warm their tyres up, especially the hards, is he's already a second ahead of us on pit exit. So we're going to have to work very hard here to get these tyres up to temp. And as we come round to the back half of the lap, we're still squirming around just trying to get heat into these tyres. So it's going to be interesting. Norris in the pit lane, so our net position should be P6 again, I think. P7. There comes Piastri. We should be able to go around him without too much trouble, given that he's going to be on ice-cold tyres. There we go, back up into P7. And currently, Max Verstappen out in the lead, I believe. It could be Perez, actually. I think he might have been on the hard tyres too. And another fastest lap. But the clouds. I'm worried about the clouds. The rain hasn't been forecast, but the way those clouds keep getting darker and darker and darker is a little concerning to me, given that we've barely got the pace to keep up with these guys on dry tyres. And of course had no wet practice. So fingers crossed we don't get the rain here in Miami. Poised then to make a move on Hamilton, I think. This is going to be the one. We're already pulling up to him. We're not even in the DRS zone yet. Turn on the DRS. Are we going to need to use battery? We pulled out the slipstream quite early there, switching from the outside to the inside. Bit of battery deployed. And we're going to try and outbrake him into this corner. Lovely job. Is he still there? Just about. But he's going to concede the position. We've got a yellow flag behind. Who's that? I'd like to see what's going on there. Looks like an Alpine has pulled over and is going slowly. For now, we'll focus on George Russell ahead. We've got to get within his DRS, which could happen on this straight, to be fair. As I said, straight line speed is very, very good at the moment. I reckon by the end of it, we will be in that DRS zone. Esteban Ocon then, out of the Grand Prix. That's an unfortunate start to the season for them. And a little bit reminiscent of last year. Oh, that was a little late on the brakes, defending from Lewis. But we're going to keep our position for now, at least. So in the pit lane, you can see Perez just coming out now. I think. No, I'm lying. That's not right. One of the Ferraris is coming out, though. Who's that? Leclerc onto the medium tyre. So they're going to be quick now. When I said the medium to hard should be the better strategy, what I didn't account for is obviously they're coming out on fresh mediums. So hopefully Russell fighting with Leclerc is going to hold him up just enough that we can pounce. We're going to have a look around the outside here. We're going to get this done. It's very difficult to overtake around this corner. No, we're not. We just don't quite have the grip to do it. But we're so close now. If we can get a good run, which we haven't, we could have had a go. But Leclerc and Russell fighting again is exactly what we need. We want them to hold each other up, and then we need to find an opportunity to pass. Bit of a snap there on the exit. As we come down into turn one, I don't think we're going to be close enough to make a move at this point. Perez coming out the pit lane. Here he comes. There he is. And very, very nearly ended up in a smash with him there. Let's have another look at that. Here he comes, look, out the pit lane, and just at the very last second makes a correction so he doesn't slam into the side of us. That was close. That could have been race ending if we'd have made contact there. Thankfully we didn't. And now on lap 18 we might be in a position to challenge for a podium position here in Miami. That would be incredible. 13th to 3rd on the in the first race. We would happily welcome that one, but I think it's safe to say Max Verstappen in the Red Bull is clear. He's all the way down at the hairpin already, and on a set of medium tyres, I think. So he'll be good as we look down the inside of George Russell, up onto the curb, so we give him enough space. Through we go. Bit of a snap there. That could invite Perez. Yeah, there he goes. Perez right behind us to come through as well. So George Russell there losing 2 positions in one corner. That's unfortunate. But great for us. We're on the podium. And if we can finish in this position, I'll be very, very happy indeed. On to the later stages of lap 19. And Perez in the Red Bull is just too fast. He's on fresh mediums in a slightly faster car than us. I've got nothing. I can't hold him off. So we're going to let him go without too much of a fight on the straight. Not that we had a choice anyway. He was going to go past. But hopefully the plan is that we can stick within his DRS zone and he'll pull us along. That didn't quite work out though, did it? On to the final lap of the race. We're 8 seconds behind. We are still in P4 though. So it's not just us that have been slower. And Max Verstappen then is going to win the Miami Grand Prix. At the start of this season, he's going to take charge of the championship very early on. Charles Leclerc in P2, apparently the hard to medium strategy, was the one to be on today. And Perez home to finish off that podium. But we have gone from 13th to 4th. I'll take that. I will take that. That was a very good race. I was very, very concerned coming out of the qualifying session, especially because in practice the car was looking quick. We were regularly sort of sitting P6, P5, P4s in the practice sessions. So it's it was a good drive.
Fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Well then, a strong start to the season, I would say. Not good qualifying, but a very, very good race and good race pace as well. Maybe that's where our car is going to be stronger. So we'll have to work on the qualifying, of course, but knowing that it's pretty strong in race trim is very reassuring. Max Verstappen then taking the lead of the championship. Charles Leclerc very close behind in P2 and Sergio Perez in P3. So it's going to be a fun championship, this one. Let's have a look at the race result. We up there in P4. Lewis Hamilton in 5th. Oscar Piastri putting in a stonking performance to get a P6 on his debut, remember. Never driven a Formula 1 car in a Grand Prix before. And yeah, P6 on debut. That's a very, very respectable result indeed. Shame for the Alpine team with Esteban Ocon getting a DNF. I assume an engine failure of some sort. Doesn't bode well for the rest of their season, but I'm confident now. I wasn't confident going into the race, and I'm feeling better about the car, about the pace, about what we can do. Maybe we can fight for this championship after all. So yeah, that was fun. Glad to be back. I'm not going to commit to an upload schedule. Got a lot going on outside of this, so I'm going to do my best to get at least one up per week. Hopefully more, we'll see. But next time, we're off to Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix, of course, and that's always a fun one, so make sure you join us for that one. And if you enjoyed this video, leave us a little like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you for the next one. Oh, and don't forget to leave a comment. Bye.